On the 15th of May 2016, we embarked on our C21 trip to Sarawak in East Malaysia. Sarawak is the largest state in Malaysia and is located on the third largest island in the world, Borneo, known as the land of the hornbills. Sarawak has an equatorial climate with tropical rainforests and an abundant animal and plant species. The state has several prominent cave systems at Gunung Mulu National Park, and the Rajang River is the longest river in Malaysia. The capital of Sarawak is Kuching, and Sarawak has a population of over 2.4 million. It is truly a multicultural state with 27 ethnic groups, which is reflected in the people's lifestyle, cultural practices, food, and experiences. Earliest human settlements in Sarawak date back to 40,000 years ago at the Nya Caves. The state had a trading relationship with China during the 8th to 13th century AD. It came under the influence of the Bruneian Empire in the 16th century. The state was governed by the Brooke family in the 19th and 20th centuries. During World War II, the state was occupied by the Japanese for 3 years before being ceded as a British Crown colony in 1946. On 22nd July 1963, Sarawak was granted self-government by the British. Following this, Sarawak became one of the founding members of the Federation of Malaysia. In recent years, the government is moving away from traditional reliance with the aim of creating more jobs and long-term economic prosperity by 2030.
Recently, in 2015, Sarawak had adopted English as an official language apart from Bahasa Malaysia as part of this development for Sarawak's future in a globalized world. Chief Minister Tan Sri Adan Setam has mentioned that graduates have been facing difficulties finding employment due to their poor command in English.
I think English because it's like the international language, a lot of resources are in English. That's why it's important.
It would also help their trade and their economy. So I think it's a good project.
Sarawakians face challenges linking with the rest of the world to help their state in attaining economic development, and this is even more difficult with the multi-ethnic groups found throughout the state, as not all the people may be prepared or ready to change their way of living.
Wow. Because our problem is we have very few good English teachers because we have been in the Malay system for so long.
Also, with a large land area, reaching out to every student will be another challenge, resulting in a slower process towards development. In a recent tourism report, Mr. Lim Neo Chen, former Chief Executive of Singapore Tourism Board, highlighted 4 key success factors, of which 2 being the whole-of-government approach and public support. In order to achieve this, the people of Sarawak must be able to come together to work towards a common desired outcome despite the ethnic differences, and a common language that is used by locals and visitors will definitely contribute towards this.
What Singapore has gained by making English an official language and the language of education. So I think, there are so many dialects here, there are so many languages, that when you want to unify people, language is a great unifier.
With more investments made into the education system, Sarawak will be able to acquire teachers who are trained in English to train and teach other teachers so that the usage of English in the education system can be established efficiently. As compared to Singapore, which Mr. Lee Kuan Yew had referred to as the pain of teachers who had to switch from teaching in Chinese to teaching in English almost overnight, which was a challenge Singapore faced. An improved education system, Sarawak will be able to create more employment opportunities and in doing so, have more skilled labour to develop other aspects of its economy. This way, building a better transport and communication network will be smoother and more rapid, reaching out to Sarawakians across the state.
So definitely it will expand their horizon, what they can learn.
Make it easier for them to get a job in a whole range of careers.